She's back. Shyla Heal is returning to where her game truly thrives, on Australian hardwood, in the heart of the WNBL. And this time, she's not just returning to play. She's returning to grow, to lead, and to inspire. Geelong United have secured the signature of one of Australian basketball's most talked about point guards. At just 23, Shyla Heal has already travelled the world, faced firestorms, and now chooses to plant herself in a club that's building something special, not just on the scoreboard, but in the soul of a sporting community. For some, this is just another signing. For Shyla, this is personal. It's her first WNBL appearance since the 2022-23 season. A season that ended not with applause, but with headlines. That was the year she left the Sydney Flames, not due to performance, but controversy. A swirling storm of bullying allegations, legal disputes, and emotional exits. The accusations weren't directed at her, but they hit home just the same. Her father, Shyla Heal, basketball royalty in Australia, was at the centre of the firestorm. He was also her coach. Their relationship came under intense scrutiny. The court battle that followed wasn't about fame. It was about dignity, missing payslips, broken trust, a $5,000 ruling. Not life-changing money, but symbolic of a system fracture. Through it all, Shyla stayed mostly silent. She trained, she travelled, she played overseas, in Europe, away from the noise. And now, after dusting herself off and rebuilding in silence, she's returned to the league that once seemed to turn its back on her. But not to the same city. Not even to the same mindset. She's returned to Geelong. She's returned with purpose. I'm really excited to be a part of the club, she said. And you can feel the authenticity behind the words. This isn't just media fluff. This is a player who's walked through fire and chosen to stand tall again. Geelong United isn't just another club. For Shyla, it's an opportunity. It's a fresh canvas. It's a region where the sport is growing, where her impact can stretch beyond the lines on the court. I feel like I've got an opportunity to help women's basketball take a step forward and keep growing in Geelong and the outer regions, she says. That's not just ambition, that's vision. In a league that often recycles old narratives, Shyla is offering something different. Renewal, redemption, representation. She's not just fighting for her spot, she's fighting for the future of the sport. And part of what pulled her to Geelong wasn't just the jersey, but the people behind it. She sat down with head coach Chris Lucas. She met with the club's ownership. She listened, she questioned, she believed, and now she's bought in, completely. Chris is a very experienced coach and I'm excited to play for him, she adds. There's trust there, there's structure, there's safety. After the chaos of Sydney, she's not just choosing a team, she's choosing stability. And what makes this return even more poetic is the history that lingers in the background. Shyla Heal, her father, knows Geelong. He played there, 3 years with the Supercats in the NBL between 1989 and 1991. It was a different era. But now, the Heal legacy circles back, this time through his daughter. But don't be mistaken, Shyla's not writing her father's name. She's carving her own. Through every layup, every assist, every time she leads a break down the court, this is her story now. And the WNBL needs this story. In a league that's pushing to grow its fanbase, boost visibility, and showcase elite talent, Shyla Heal's return couldn't come at a better time. She brings flair. She brings international experience. She brings a point guard's instinct wrapped in a scorer's confidence. And above all, she brings a second chance. That's what this season is. A second chance at respect. A second chance at leadership. A second chance to show the basketball world what she's made of, not just as a player, but as a woman who's faced adversity and said, I'm not done yet. She could have stayed overseas. She could have walked away from the WNBL entirely. She could have allowed the controversy to define her. But instead, she's returning to redefine herself. And Geelong is the perfect stage. This is a city that's hungry for elite women's sport. A region with young girls looking for role models. A club trying to cement its legacy in the WNBL landscape. And now, they have Shyla Heal, sharp, motivated, and ready to lead. What happens next? Maybe she lights up the league. Maybe she becomes the face of Geelong United. Maybe she writes a redemption arc that becomes the talk of the season. Or maybe it's quieter than that. Maybe she builds brick by brick. Maybe she earns respect not through viral plays, but through consistency, work ethic, and team-first mentality. Either way, the comeback has begun. And this time, it's not about where she's been. It's about where she's going. So, keep watching, because when Shyla Heal steps back onto that WNBL court, she's not just playing for points. She's playing for her name, her future, and for everyone who's ever had to start over. Welcome back, Shyla. This is your moment.